TKO.
Oh, hold on. Let me fix this mic so these Channel 101 guys don't complain about this too. They already have enough to point out. Okay, that's better. First things first, I want to congratulate Glover Teixeira for finally becoming the UFC light heavyweight champion. He defeated Jan Blachowicz at UFC 267. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the biggest fight card of the year. You thought UFC 268 was stacked? 269 is ready to deliver. Dustin Poirier looks to finally become undisputed, while Oliveira is fighting for respect. Amanda Nunes puts her featherweight title... Well, wait, it's the bantamweight title that's on the line. Is she still the featherweight champion? Are they still doing that? Can we just retire that? No one is beating her. Anyways, Julianna Peña is going to try to survive Amanda Nunes. Yeah, good luck. Supporting those two fights may be the best fight on the card, and that's Mr. 3-Piece in a Soda, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. He finally goes one-on-one with Leon Rocky Edwards. There is Cody Garbrandt making his flyweight debut, if he doesn't die. Sugar Sean O'Malley looks to get that Conor McGregor money. Jeff Neal and Santiago Ponzinibbio look to be the second best welterweight fight on the card. Dominic Cruz will try to keep his spot in the bantamweight rankings, and two MTV Cage alumni, Matt Danger Schnell and Tony Primetime Kelly, look to make Big Head Tito Ortiz proud as they look to earn a victory inside the octagon. For most everyone that doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about, around 2012 or so, MTV filmed a TV show called Cage that focused on the small-town MMA scene in Minden, Louisiana. Two of the fighters that were covered as amateurs were Matt Schnell and Tony Kelly. Both of whom were picked by Tito Ortiz to represent his punishment brand on the season finale. Schnell went on to fight for the Legacy Fighting Championship and become their flyweight champion, and eventually earning a shot in the UFC through the Ultimate Fighter, while Kelly worked his way through the regional scene and finally earned a shot as their late replacement in 2020. I'm picking both to earn big wins and possibly break into the top 15 in each of their divisions. Dominic Cruz takes on Pedro Munoz. Dominic will always be one of the all-time best bantamweights in the UFC, but I believe the years of injury have hurt his legacy of being one of the GOATs in MMA. As far as this fight goes, Pedro has been a perennial contender for the past few years and looks to be his coming out party. If he doesn't finish Cruz, he will win a dominant decision. Sorry Dominic, always liked Faber better. 2 years ago, Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibbio would have possibly been a title eliminator or a fight for a number one contender. Fast forward to now, and it's just an interesting fight to see who will get to stay in the top 10 of the welterweight division. It's honestly a toss-up, and I'm expecting a solid fight from both. Sugar Sean O'Malley continues his streak of fighting people that nobody knows. The kid is talented and becoming a star in the UFC. He's a student of the game and continues to play the heel perfectly. O'Malley's striking will be the story of the fight, and whatever his name is will be taking a nap by the end of the fight. Cody Garbrandt is making his flyweight debut. I'm not sure he can survive with 10 less pounds with his brawling style. That's not always a great idea. The flyweight division hasn't been the same since Mighty Mouse left for Asia, and with a win over Kai Kara France, No Love will put himself on a short list for the title shot at 125. Can his chin hold up to the challenge of former champ Davison Figueiredo? Only time will tell. Jorge Masvidal and Leon Edwards look to settle their rivalry by rematching 2.5 years after their backstage brawl, where Masvidal served up a 3-piece and a soda to Leon and then claimed self-defense. Masvidal goes on to be one of the biggest stars of the last 2 years and fighting for the welterweight title twice, while Edwards went almost 2 years without a fight. It must have been tough to watch from the sidelines as Masvidal blows up and takes possibly everything that Leon thought was his. Leon gets a chance at revenge, and this has potential to be the best fight of the night. Leon is going to look to make it a wrestling match to control the range of Masvidal, while Jorge looks to stuff the takedowns and finish that meal he started with Leon back in March of 2019. The 3-piece is probably stale now, so I'm sure Masvidal will be looking to serve up a new combo to him. Unfortunately for all you Masvidal fans, I can see Leon controlling the action to a decision. Breaking news. As of this moment, Jorge Masvidal is pulled out of his featured bout with Leon Edwards, citing an undisclosed injury. Seems a little suspect since less than a week ago, the number one contender, Colby Covington, said it would be a good idea to pull from that fight and fight Covington around February of 2020. You heard it here first. Covington doesn't lose against the Street Judas. Amanda Nunes has been the bantamweight champion for almost 5 years now and became the double champ 2 years after that. No one has came even close to giving her any sort of problems. She takes on a girl who is 2-2 in her last 4 fights in almost 5 years. I just don't see how Julianna Peña will be able to compete with the greatest female competitor in the UFC, Amanda by domination. It's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. The Diamond looks to be undisputed, while Charles Oliveira looks to finally get the Birdman treatment and get some respect put on his name. Oliveira is on a 9-fight win streak, which includes the knockout of Michael Chandler to crown him the world champion in the lightweight division. Before beginning that winning streak, Charles Oliveira was inconsistent in the UFC, with a 10-8-1 record in the UFC with contests in both lightweight and featherweight divisions. In his entire UFC career, Oliveira has went 1-5 against former UFC world champions or title contenders. What does that mean for Dustin Poirier? Poirier is 7-1 in his last 8 8 contests, with all but one fight against reigning or former world champions, and the one loss is against the supposed greatest lightweight of all time, which isn't true. If I can't search half of the guys you fought on Wikipedia, then you need to come back and finish the job. Khabib defended the title 3 times. That does not make him the GOAT. Okay, where was I? Dustin Poirier. The experience is unmatched. Dustin has beaten the very best talent at 155 and outstruck the very best striker at 145 as well. Anything can happen on a Saturday night in Las Vegas. But what will happen is Dustin will take the pressure of winning his first undisputed title and will turn that into a diamond. The year started off with a big win for Dustin Poirier, and it will end with a big win by Dustin Poirier. Dustin the Diamond Poirier will become AM new. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody. I'll see you back here for UFC 270 in January.
TKO. TKO.